Offside Forums, in association with Bootleg Media, present SWATH Radio with your hosts, Crowley and Ryan the Great. This is SWATH Radio. That's right, welcome to SWATH Radio, episode freaking 21 already. Good God.
221.
221. I am your host, Mr. Crowley, and joined, as always, here in studio, my co-host, my partner in crime, Ryan the Great.
Don't you mean Adam?
And our intro's evil and corny.
I'm scared.
It's corny evil.
Right.
We'll get to that a little bit later. Thank you for joining us. As always, we do enjoy the fact that you enjoy listening to us.
And if you don't, go fuck yourself.
That's right. Go fuck yourself. Lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Holy crap. Lots of things have happened in the last 2 weeks in the realm of SWTOR. You were gone 2 weeks ago for Easter.
Or Adam was gone.
Adam was gone for
Right.
Easter. I don't even know who Adam is.
I don't either. That's why I asked the guy that. Anyway.
Yeah. Seaweed was on from Guild Nexus last time. That was good.
How was that? Was that fun?
It was fun. It was a good time. Did you not listen to the show?
I did.
Oh, okay. So then
I'm
you
just
know it was fun.
asking you because I wasn't here for the sake of the people not knowing that I wasn't here. Does that make sense?
Kinda.
It's like when Dan Patrick's gone, you know, and then he asks the Danettes, how was this? Even though he clearly knows how it was.
That's yeah, okay. Now that makes more sense.
Same kind of shit, dude.
Thank you for visualizing that for me.
What the F?
Giving me the mind image.
The mind image?
I couldn't think of anything. Shut up.
Reminds me of that one book, The Mind's Eye. The Star Wars book.
We have a special guest.
Splinter in the Mind's Eye.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No, but Splinter's in that too. But Splinter in the Mind's Eye, the Star Wars book.
Yeah.
You read it?
Yeah.
Probably.
I did.
Then why are you acting like you have no idea what I'm talking about?
It's fun to
Jesus.
It's fun to mess with you. We have a special guest later in the show.
It's top secret.
It is top secret.
Top secret.
Totally top secret. Cannot tell you who it is.
Or who it's not.
Or who it's not. It's good stuff. You would just have to pay attention and listen to the entirety of the show to figure out who our special guest is.
Right.
Or not.
Yep.
Is.
Okay.
1.2 launched. Wow, that's all you have to say?
Yeah. I was looking forward to it. You know, had a lot of stuff going on in real life. Been looking forward to 1.2. And then they decide to handicap what I do for a living. Hey, my thought is, hey, if you have decided to go about being like the least popular type of character in the game, you shouldn't nerf them more and make it harder to be that person.
I'm not sure the class.
Dude, people do not want to be a healer. I don't care.
Okay,
People
sure.
do not want to be a healer.
Why?
And then when you go and make... Because it's like...
There are entire guilds and websites dedicated to just people who love to heal.
Yeah, and there's lots of websites dedicated to, like, dog porn, too. Doesn't mean it's right.
There's dog porn out there?
Yes. Bestiality.
Are you just saying weird things so I have to find pictures of this stuff to put in on the vidcast later for TGN?
Plead the fifth.
Dog porn it is. So yeah, we'll get to that. Lots of stuff going on. Like I said, Nerds Raged 1.2 launched. Things happened.
What?
I don't know.
Things happened.
Things happened. Yeah. So let's talk about what was included in the launch of 1.2. Let's just dive right into it, right off the bat.
Wait. What was included or what wasn't included that was supposed to be included that they didn't tell you wasn't going to be included until like 2 days before it happened?
We'll get to that. Like I said, Nerds Raged.
All right.
So what was included in the 1.2 launch? Legacy, man.
Legacy was all right.
Dude, Legacy was more than all right. I'm sorry. The role player inside of me had a nerdgasm.
You know, there's only like, what, 5% of the servers that are role-playing?
I know, but
For a reason.
We're on a PvP
For
server.
a reason.
The role player inside of me had a nerdgasm.
Okay, yeah, it was cool to make my Jedi Knight the rival of my Inquisitor, I guess, and to make my Juggernaut my ally, whatever.
This is what I want to ask, and I want people to post this. Either tweet me at SWATH Radio, or just leave a comment on the TGN YouTube site.
Or just tell us how much we suck on the TGN YouTube site.
Because you guys are really good at doing that, too. So, let me know. This is what I want to know. Does your family tree look as fucked up as mine? Because here it is.
Dude, probably.
Okay, just bear with me.
To be
here.
fair, it's
My main guy is a Sith pureblood. His rival is a human trooper, which I'll probably delete because I hate the trooper.
Interracial marriages.
Just wait. He has an adopted child who is a human bounty hunter.
But that's good. Adoption's a good thing.
I'm sorry. She is married to a human Sith warrior.
Yeah.
They both had a Mexican child named Benedicto.
Right. That wasn't adopted.
I
feel like there's some foul play in there.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because they're both white as can be, but they had a Mexican, Hispanic, American. It's not even American. You can't even say. They don't have Hispanics or Mexicans. It would be a brown-skinned.
So we've done over 200 episodes of SWATH Radio.
Yes, we have.
Most of them live.
When
we weren't covering SWTOR exclusively.
Right.
This is the first time you've ever lost control of the show by your own doing.
I know, right?
I have no idea what you're saying right now.
So anyway, I just wanted to know if it looks as screwed up as mine. If anybody else's family tree is like just really whacked out. Because now I want to create a Sith pureblood consular on the Jedi side.
It depends on where
that marries my Sith pureblood.
The people are that are listening, because most people are like, my family tree is just one long stick.
Okay.
For our Arkansas listeners.
We have people that listen from Arkansas?
I don't know. Probably.
If you're in Arkansas and he just offended you, just send your complaint to Commander Batty. Commander Batty, he's a douchebag.com.
Just say that guy that thought Adam was the host of the show is probably from Arkansas.
He's got to be. I don't know where he's from. Anyway, Legacy's really cool. I really enjoy the Legacy.
Yeah, I did too. I was just being...
Lots of cool things you can unlock with money and Legacy level on your ship. You can get a mailbox. You can get my dog whining right next to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't understand what the problem is. You can get the mailbox. You can get a medical droid. You can get a Galactic Trade Network kiosk on your ship for 5 million credits. Mm-hmm. Which, credits aren't really hard to come by in the game. Let's just be honest.
We have to play to get credits.
For you, they might be hard to come by. For me, they're not really that hard to come by. So, really lots of cool stuff with the Legacy, man. I'm digging the Legacy. Really digging it.
You know what the best part of the Legacy is?
What?
The fact that you could loan your friend who hasn't been playing as much a bunch of credits. That came in Legacy.
Did that come with Legacy?
Yes!
Wow. God, you know what? I would love to loan that friend credits if he'd ever log on. I'd be able to, hey, here's your credits.
Wait, what are we talking about
right now?
You
not playing.
Hey, so moving on. Legacy.
I really think the Legacy was cool. Now, look, we'll get to why they really had to focus on Legacy for this patch here in a little bit. But I think it was a really great idea to just make it Legacy. Because here's the thing. BioWare has said since the beginning of the game, since before it came out, you're going to want to re-roll characters. You're going to want to roll as many tunes as possible.
And if you go back to episode 5 or 6, when we talked about how we didn't want this game to be a game where we have 8 guys at level 50.
Right. They want you to have 8 guys at level 50, and now I understand why.
City of Heroes.
I understand why now. If City of Heroes had a Legacy system, how much cooler would that game have been?
Well, they're on their 23rd free expansion, so 24 will be called something in the Thesaurus Legacy.
Right.
I don't know.
So I just really think this is a great idea.
Other MMOs are going to copy this, guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a great way to have you invested in rolling other characters up to 50.
Right.
Now, that said, I don't want to be known as the wine cast and the piss and moan cast, but I think...
If we were drinking wine...
Yeah, then that's fine.
That's cool.
I have water today. You have a line of kugels.
Summer shandy, motherfucker.
Summer shandy. An analyst for Cohen and Company has estimated...
Because they're reputable.
They are reputable. Has estimated the player subscription for Star Wars The Old Republic will have dropped from 1.7 million at the beginning of this year to 1.25 million by the end of EA's current fiscal year in March 2013.
What do you think about that? That's 11 months away.
Let me quote what he says, and then I'll get to it. Quote, this is from analyst Doug Kreutz with, again, Cohen and Company. Quote, we believe that the apparent decline in subscribers is most likely due to a lack of end-game content for the title, meaning that players who hit the level cap have few compelling options in terms of ongoing gameplay, end quote.
Coincidentally, he said the exact same thing about Star Trek Online.
Yeah, I know, but he was right about that. Here's the thing. The end game content, as far as I'm concerned for this game, is rolling another character. Is getting as many legacy levels as you can. It's learning the class story for each class. Because it paints a bigger picture.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So while people don't want to do that, this is a new direction for MMOs.
It's hard to argue with your logic. It's the first time and only time I've ever said that.
I know, right? Crowley has been level-headed lately.
And I hate it.
If only the people at BioWare listen to this podcast.
Who says they don't?
Who says they do? So yeah, I really think that this was going to be the future of MMOs. I really do. It gives the developers time to come up with more in-game content for your level 50s and not to have to continually throw things out there. Look, you can level a tune if you want really quickly to 50 in probably 3 days if you're nobody has one, Blake Dupree from Nothing Gaming and fall asleep shitting on the toilet.
No, well, if you're sitting in your WoW hut.
If you're sitting in your WoW hut.
Right.
But look, honestly, it'll take 2-3 weeks to level to 50 if you play 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Because you're going to find other things to do. Plus, there's a ton of other things. Datacrons, the world event they came out with, I mean, that was a time sink, which we'll talk about. But there's other things to do other than just the in-game content at 50. And if you're focused on your main and the in-game content at 50, I'm going to tell you, you're playing this game incorrectly.
You're doing it wrong.
You are epic failing at SWTOR.
Or at least doing it wrong.
So is he right? Is this analyst right when he says they're going to lose subscribers?
Time will tell.
I'm going to say yes. And here's why. And I've said this on other podcasts in the last couple of weeks.
But 1.25 million subscribers is still a success, is it not?
I would say it's a success.
Well, there you go.
But here's the thing. Our server, the Volker Highway server, this week, because of the world event, had 120, 130, 140 people top on the Imperial fleet. We rolled a character this week. Me and 2 other guys from our guild rolled a character this week on the Fat Man server.
Which I hear about all the time.
280 on the fleet plus another 180 overflow fleet.
Oh, wow.
So they had 2 instances for the fleet.
Not including how many were on Tatooine.
That was on in the afternoon.
But Tatooine.
And that wasn't even, you're right, that wasn't even Tatooine.
Right.
That was the Imperial fleet. When we tried to log on later that night, about 6, 7 o'clock. Queue, 340 in the queue, 40-minute wait.
Wow.
I'm willing to wait 40 minutes to have that higher population.
Well, I think a lot of people have migrated there already. They've rolled other characters on there.
Yep. Absolutely. I think you're right. And that's not good.
That's the only server that I see on Twitter repeatedly.
Absolutely. And see, here's the BioWare's problem that they're going to have with that. If people are already re-rolling characters on the Fat Man, people on the Fat Man are going to take off because they're going to say it's too crowded. They're going to take off. It's going to be a vicious cycle. They need to start merging servers. This character transfer crap's not going to cut it. They've got to merge servers. 2 or 3 of them at the very least to get the population that people want.
Well, I think it'd be more than that they'd have to merge.
Well, what I'm saying is 2 or 3 into 1. And then take another 2 or 3 into 1. And then take another 2 or 3 into 1. Math is hard, and I can't even spell it. So there's the 1.2 legacy. Now with 1.2, there's a new Flashpoint, which is actually really cool. But it's also, if you're not, it's the first Flashpoint where you're like, wow, I really need 8. You know, I need 4 people in here. I need backup. I need, you know, it's harder.
You can't roll with like somebody's.
No, if they don't know what they're doing, you're gonna wipe.
Right.
The new operation, 2 tanks are needed.
For the good tanks.
For the first two bosses, which, you know, again, it's harder than all the other all the other operations. So I'm okay with that. I think they did a good job there. New Warzone. I love the new Warzone.
The new Warzone would be fun if I could heal like I used to be able to heal.
Okay, we'll get to that. God, why are you so fixated on?
I'm probably gonna respec DPS.
You make me sad.
I'm just saying. Even though I got all the healer shit.
Yeah, you do.
They make me sad.
Well,
oh, I casted 4 good heals and I'm out of force.
We'll get to that.
I'll use consumption. Now I'm dead.
That Warzone is what Ilum should have been. If that Warzone were a little bit bigger and was constant, that would be great. Do you disagree with that?
I don't disagree. It was a lot of fun. It's probably my most favorite. Cause I'm a big fan. Doesn't matter what game, the capture and hold type of mode, like first person shooters. That's my favorite game mode.
So you really like Alderaan?
Yeah. I like Alderaan more than Voidstar and...
Oh my god, I love Voidstar.
I'm just saying.
Voidstar, isn't Voidstar
like
a variation of capture and hold?
I like the new...
Isn't Voidstar a variation of capture and hold?
Sorta.
Okay. I really like this new Warzone. I think they did a great job with it. The updated graphics look great with it. Really fun, a lot of fun, and I think you have more of a individual impact in that Warzone than you do others.
You can have.
Yeah. I really do. I think that if you think you have a better strategy than what the speds in your group are doing, they'll follow you if you go do it. Mm-hmm. At least that seems to be the case. So I really like it. Gear changes. There were some gear changes. Champion gear, Centurion gear, all went away.
War Hero gear.
War Hero gear is in effect now. However, a lot of people running around with War Hero gear, but it's the moddable stuff. It's not the purple stuff, because the purple stuff's not available yet, I don't think. You have to have a rated Warzone rating of 1200, which is the highest rating. And there are no rated Warzones.
Right.
Which we'll get to here in just a minute. Mm-hmm. The upgrade pets. Have you seen all these new pets running around?
I've seen a few of them.
Okay, so everyone's going to get the Tauntaun, which we'll get to Tauntaun Gate here in a second. But there's a bird, an Orakeet.
That one's really hard to get.
I went to get it, and there were 4 people standing there waiting.
Did you kill them? Or they
were all Empire. Now, I did try to go to the Republic side, and there was one guy standing there waiting, and he just kept knocking me off with his knockback.
Right.
And I was on some sort of precipice, so I just kept falling to my death.
Huh.
So I stopped doing it. I was like, I'll go get it later. But it's kind of neat.
You'd have to go at like 5 a.m.
I tried that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, didn't really work. You know, they say the early bird gets the worm. Not so much in that instance. They nerfed healing. I don't know if you've noticed. Ryan the Great's a little upset about that. Would you like to speak to that for a little bit now that we're on actually?
I think I've already spoke to it. I don't think anything else needs to be said. Fuck them.
I don't think it's that bad.
Oh, are you a healer? Do you know?
I have healed.
Fuck you.
I have had to respec heals with my Inquisitor.
Uh-huh.
Several times.
Uh-huh.
Because, You know
what? This will sum it up best.
Okay.
1.2 came out. Mm-hmm. I got excited. I tweeted it out. I'm so excited to play, and I get a free Tauntaun. High five, BioWare. I get a call from you. You're probably not going to be excited to play because they nerfed healing. That's straight from the horse's mouth.
I did say that.
So don't even.
So you're not excited to play anymore? Is that what you're saying?
I'm excited to play, but I might have to spec back to what I was originally, and that's DPS.
Look, if a bounty hunter can heal, I'm sure an Inquisitor can figure it out.
Cooldown.
Yeah, well, a bounty hunter can still do it.
Whatever.
I've heard commandos bitching about it, too.
Just say, exactly.
You healers are just all whiny.
All I'm saying is in my opinion, it's the least desirable type of character.
What, a healer?
Yes.
Well, then why'd you roll one?
To help the team.
Okay, so what are you going to roll now? What are you going to respec to, DPS?
Yeah, I just said that.
Are you going to roll a different character?
Prime Madness.
Besides your Republic character, are you going to roll a different character?
I don't know. I like my Juggernaut. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Beef him up.
Okay.
I don't know.
People are really upset.
But to be fair, like, the Jedi Knight Marauder, well, what is it? It's not a Marauder. Sentinel?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Does the Sentinel have a...
You can't play drunk. Because you gotta use those fucking interrupts. I've had multiple people tell me the Jedi Knight storyline is hard mode. Now, I know you're gonna have some idiots on there, hey, Jedi Knight's the easiest thing to do because I've been playing games. This is the greatest thing ever. Oh my god. Never had sex in my life. But, I'm just saying, it's tough.
Does the Sentinel have some sort of force choke type ability?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't play a Sentinel. You do?
Does a light side character have force choke?
Some type of force choke, some variation of it.
Does he have a hold? Yes.
Okay. Well, they moved that cooldown from 45 seconds to a minute.
Which is stupid.
And the Marauder in our guild.
Let's make the hardest class to play as harder.
The top Marauder in our guild.
We need to get someone from BioWare on this show.
Or not from BioWare on this show.
Or not have them on the show.
Yes. I'm just saying the top Marauder was pretty upset about that. Because it's just a different play style. You can't use the same buttons over and over.
When you have people that have been playing for months and they have perfected a way to play.
An MMO.
And then you change it on them.
An MMO
I don't care.
Is a living, breathing thing that gets changed quarterly.
And there is something to be said about that.
Okay.
That's great. But then there's also other games where I can pick it up after 2 months and still kick as much ass as I did 2 months ago.
Are you talking about freaking Call of Duty?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay, an MMO is not a first-person shooter.
I never said it was. I'm just telling you the differences in games. And there is more people consistently playing Call of Duty than there is SWTOR just because they don't change shit. It's probably not the reason, but I'm just going to say it is.
You're just going to say it is?
For the sake of this little whatever it is that we're having right now.
So what didn't 1.2 include?
Same awesome healing abilities.
Rated war zones. And how much of a heads up did we get?
2 days.
If that.
It was like 48 hours.
Here's the thing, and I think
I've decided not to send these out because
we even talked about this on the last show. They were at PAX. They were at PAX East.
And they got punched in the face by somebody.
No.
Oh.
They were at PAX East. Literally 2 days before.
But if somebody like had tattooed in their knuckles, FUCK rated war zones, and they punched them in the face, same result probably would have happened.
I suppose.
Just saying.
But nobody did.
But if they would have.
They couldn't tell anybody at PAX when 1.2 was coming out. So this is my theory. I don't think they knew whether or not rated war zones were going to be in yet. I think half the dev team was, yeah, let's throw it in there because we don't want nerd rage. And the other half was like, no, it's not ready.
They would have been like the nerd rage post not ready rated war zones would be worse than not including it.
Yes.
They took the lesser of two evils.
Yes. And I'm glad they did.
Interesting theory.
And I'm glad they did. I don't want something half-assed thrown in the game that's going to piss me off. Just don't give it to me yet.
Don't pull an STO.
Right.
Took you a second, but then you knew it.
I knew exactly what you don't pull an STO. So I'm happy they didn't, but people everywhere were pissed about this. Extremely pissed. Like, angry. And look, I've said on this show, and I've told BioWare, not to put too many I am statements in here, but I've told BioWare before to suck my left nut when I thought they did something stupid.
You also told them to suck your right nut.
And my right nut. I think at one point I ran out of nuts.
You did that?
Yeah,
you did
I did.
I was sitting right here.
But I think they did a good job with this 1.2. I really do. I think they did a great job with it. And
they would have done a great job with it.
If they didn't nerf healing. Yeah, we know. Thanks. God, that's going to be the name of the show. Healing nerfed. Gear set bonus swaps were not included. Which I thought they were supposed to be included. But then after reading something that Stephen Reed had tweeted out, saying maybe this will clear it up, apparently they were never supposed to be included. You can just take the armor sets out. You can take the armor, the mod, and the enhancement out.
Okay. Whatever. British.
You're not a big fan of Stephen Reed, are you?
I guarantee he's the one who nerfed healing.
There also wasn't a very good explanation as to why these weren't included. It was, go read the dev tracker, and it was basically, James saying, or Daniel Erickson, or one of them, I don't know, saying, look, we're not comfortable releasing rated war zones right now, yada, yada, yada. We'll release it soon Well, when soon? You kept saying this game was going to come out soon, January of last year, and it didn't come out until December of last year. So please define your definition of soon. They didn't. They said that the 1.2 was going to come out soon. The Saturday before it came out frickin' 3 days later. Please define soon. And then what's with the Legacy? Full Legacy's not... Look, I love Legacy, but it's not even fully implemented yet. Why is it not fully implemented yet? It's only through level 25. And by the way, I'm like level 31 Legacy. 32, something like that now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. But there's a coming soon tab. Did you see this coming soon tab?
Yep.
Tease me, why don't you? Because the role player in me was like, ooh, I want that stuff.
Teasing is a good marketing tool.
Okay, teasing is a good marketing tool for hookers.
For porn.
Yeah, porn.
A lot of gamers like porn.
A lot of gamers like hookers.
Hookers are kind of a form of porn, sort of.
Is it porn if you're involved in it?
Absolutely.
Or is it just the act
Yes,
at that point?
Both.
So you're creating an act of porn?
Why not?
Okay. I think that's illegal in some states.
Creating an act of war, not in 11 counties in Nevada.
That's right. So was 1.2 really as bad as a lot of people made it out to be?
But it wasn't as good as it was supposed to be.
Wow.
Just saying.
Are you really going to be that guy tonight?
No.
You are. You have been all night.
You
have been that guy all night.
That guy is not a bad guy. Just saying.
That guy's that guy. That guy on Twitter that nerd raged because rated war zones weren't in there.
Okay, there was a lot of guys that did that.
The chick on Twitter that was bitching because healers were nerfed.
The chick / the guy that was pretending to be a chick.
Yes. It wasn't that bad. People.
I don't complain about shit very often.
No, you really don't.
So was it really that bad?
To you, apparently. I don't think it was.
Because you're not a healer.
I have rolled healing classes before.
I don't care. It's not the same thing.
It is the same thing. I've respected my Inquisitor to healing several times.
Whatever.
I wouldn't do it now. What I'm saying.
The truth comes out here at the end of this segment.
It's not that bad, folks. Look, when Crowley is the voice of reason.
When it's compared to STO, you're right.
No, when Crowley's the voice of reason, and David Bass, tweets out, "Who are you, and what have you done with Crowley?" Because I'm telling everybody to relax. 1.2 is great. It's not nearly as bad as people make it out to be. There's an issue.
Well, on the flip side to that, same stuff as the teasing, controversy in marketing creates cash.
You really think...
Having people get all crazy about it and talk about it?
Sure.
Maybe it wasn't that bad of a thing.
Are you saying that it may have been pre-planned by BioWare?
I don't know. According to you, yes. Because you didn't know if they were going to include rated war zones. And I think that is the sole reason so many people got pissed.
Why? Because they really wanted rated war zones?
They wanted rated war zones. They wanted the cross-server
But here's the thing.
rated war zones.
But they knew beforehand it wasn't going to be cross-server rated war zones. They knew it was a preseason war zone where they were testing
BioWare knew that.
They told everybody that. They told everybody
that.
But
most people didn't listen.
That's the problem right there. When people nerd rage...
When people don't listen, it's not their fault that they don't know.
9 times out of 10 is because they didn't listen. Except in this next case. Tauntaun Gate. People listened, and they didn't like what they heard. BioWare came out and said, we're going to give all level 50s a free 30 days of gameplay and a pet Tauntaun.
And they emailed you. I got my email.
Yeah, they emailed everybody. They came out. They
you
said,
are one of the best players ever, and we appreciate how much you have played.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it like that.
I'll find it. You keep talking.
I'll keep talking. So they came out. They said they were going to give everybody this free Tauntaun and free 30 days, and people exploded. You thought they were pissed about 1.2 and rated Warzone's not coming out. You haven't seen nothing yet. These people literally exploded. The tweets that I saw directed at certain people at BioWare were ridiculous, especially considering that I did the 666 podcast where we literally took, all the scum and villainy, all the black sheep of the podcast community and just lambasted BioWare for a good 2.5 hours. I was taken aback by some of these tweets. They were just ridiculous and out of control. But what did BioWare do? They did what they always do when the community goes into some kind of tizzy fit. They listened. And they changed it. They said, as long as you're level or legacy level 6, you'll get the free 30 days and the free Tauntaun.
This is what the email said.
Okay.
You are one of the most active and valued high-level players, and we know you've been waiting patiently for Game Update 1.2 Legacy. To show our appreciation, check out all the great features the update has to offer on us. We will be adding additional 30 days of game time to your account at no charge, asterisk. The free 30 days will appear in your account by April 24th at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. As an added bonus, we will be awarding all active subscribers with an in-game legacy reward, the Legacy Tauntaun.
Tauntaun. I can't wait to get my Tauntaun.
And then they showed a picture of it.
I want my Tauntaun.
It looks pretty cool.
I want my Tauntaun.
It looks pretty cool.
I really do want my Tauntaun.
Anywho.
You know there's 3 different types of Tauntauns you can get in the game?
Different colors, right?
I don't know. I don't know if they're different colors.
I think they're different colors or something.
So yeah, I gotta go
There's
get
like
those.
the Skywalker Tauntaun. There's the Hulk Smash Tauntaun.
Does he smell when you cut him open?
Admiral Akbar Tauntaun that just screams it's a trap.
Also trap!
Yeah.
That's like John Madden screaming it's a trap.
Kind of, or Bill Cosby.
Or Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think my Madden sounds
You
like Bill
said
Cosby.
it first! Well, no.
And you didn't answer my question. Does the Luke
What?
Skywalker Tauntaun smell when you cut it open?
Yes. Well, yeah. But only when it's around the Han Solo Tauntaun,
Oh, okay.
which is actually the 4th kind.
There's a 4th kind of a Han Solo Tauntaun?
Not to be confused with the Indiana Jones.
Tauntaun?
Yep.
There's an Indiana Jones Tauntaun. There's like 5 now. Are you going to keep going?
We're gonna, no.
Okay, there's only 3.
There's 5.
Just so people know, there's only 3.
Actually 5.
There's only 3.
Right now, but there will be 5.
They're not those names that you said they were.
They actually are originally those ideas.
And where did you get this information?
Don't worry about it.
I think it's time we found out where you're getting your inside source, because we happen to have with us tonight, right now in studio, as a very special guest. He may or may not be the fan site liaison at BioWare for SWTOR. He may or may not be the class clown at BioWare in Austin.
And may or may not be from Austin, Texas.
And may or may not be from Austin, Texas, or currently residing in Austin, Texas.
Right.
We have with us right now, maybe, possibly,
Or not.
maybe David Bass.
Hello? Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, David. Or maybe David. Thanks for being with us tonight. Well, you've been tweeting some weird things out, which, by the way, people can follow you on Twitter. Why don't you give that Twitter address for us, would you?
It's at Dr. Dyke. DOCTORDIKE.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So why don't you tell us? You've been tweeting a lot of things out, and apparently you're really good friends with Ryan the Great. I'm really.
Yeah, he is. He talks to me all the time.
So this is where you're getting your inside information is from him.
Maybe.
So
Just because he talks to me all the time doesn't mean. Just saying.
Okay, so maybe David Bass, could you tell us a little bit about why you're releasing some of the failed SWTOR patch ideas, and maybe give us an idea, a little snippet of what some of those might be?
Well, first and foremost, I am not David Bass at Dr. Dyke on Twitter. Just saying. But yeah, there's a lot of, patch ideas that I've had that unfortunately BioWare hasn't liked. For example, putting all the Jedi archives on a Laserdisc. Or, for example, the original idea for the Rat Ghoul Plague was to have everyone continuously explode until they went back to World of Warcraft.
Don't you think that, there's a lot of people already going back to World of Warcraft? Jumbo, from Brotherhood of SWAT left to go back.
Jumblo, who's famous, you should probably know who he is.
Yeah, everybody
know
knows who Jumblo is. He's the biggest asshole on the planet, I think. He went back to World of Warcraft.
Questionable on that.
Questionable. Biggest douchebag?
Maybe.
Okay. He went back. So, I mean, you know, I'm just saying. Just tell us, what are some of the other failed SWTOR patch ideas? Because apparently there have been quite a few.
Well, hashtag failed SWTOR patch ideas on Twitter will pretty much clear it up for you. One of the more recent ones that I've had was William Shatner actually doing commentary for Hotball. I thought that was a winner for sure.
I actually like that idea. I think that's a great idea to bring William Shatner in to do commentary.
That was a really good idea. I think that actually, when that got tweeted out, it was retweeted a couple times. People thought that was the best idea they've ever heard.
Yeah, I think that's freaking great.
And I agree with him. Just saying.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's great. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, what you do. I mean, we talked about the SWTOR failed patch ideas, but just give us a little background on you.
Well, I'm a big Dr. Seuss fan, and in terms of where I came from, what I used to do, it's actually the exact same thing I do right now, and that's play World of Warcraft.
How many hours a week do you play World of Warcraft?
That's a good question. So, many people don't know this, but I actually invented the WoW Hut. If you don't know what that is, Google it, WoW Hut. Make sure you have your filtered settings to moderate, just for forewarning you. But I don't know, it can be anywhere from 128 to 157 hours a week.
Are there that many hours in a week? I'm not even sure that
doesn't seem like
the right.
That's probably doable because you work 40 hours a week and that's 8 hours a day, 5 days.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
I think
he's your friend.
Yeah, but I don't think he's telling the truth.
I don't think so either. Let me ask you this: who's your favorite character in Star Wars? There.
Jar Jar Binks for sure. Blame Jar Jar. I think you actually started that, Crowley, on Twitter. Blame Jar Jar. I'd sent out a thing saying, when you're having a bad day, just remember everything is Jar Jar's fault. He's actually an integral part of the Star Wars universe, because if it wasn't for him, Palpatine never would have took over. So in a sense, he's more powerful than Emperor Palpatine.
I think you've just confirmed everything I've ever thought about you. Let me ask you this: your boss is may or may not be at BioWare, Stephen Reed. What do you think of Stephen Reed and your boss there?
Oh, well, how do I put this nicely? I think he thinks the British won the Revolutionary War. I think that sums him up pretty well, I think.
Wow, that just got said.
Wow, yeah, it did.
Wow.
Folks, if you don't have a sense of humor, you've probably already turned this off by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'd like to thank you for being on the show this week. Is there anything that you'd like to leave our listeners with before you return to wherever it is you came from, sir?
Well, I do want you guys to, I don't want you to hold your breath, but it's very likely that two of my patch ideas actually are going to go through, and that is Switchblade lightsabers and T-bowing as a taunt in the game. So I'm very confident that those will actually come on 1.2.347.896 on the 7th consecutive night of unscheduled maintenance.
Okay. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Take care on your flight back, and may you live long and prosper.
I think that's the wrong game.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. David Bass, not really David Bass.
Not David Bass.
Not David Bass.
Officially.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Officially.
Wow.
In no way, shape, or form is he affiliated with BioWare whatsoever. And please send any and all complaints to Commander Batty at he'sadouchebag.com.
T-bowing, really?
I would love having T-bowing.
I would not, because you We've been at, okay, so there's been a couple nights where Brotherhood of Swath, we're queuing, when we end up in hot ball matches against each other, we have a couple different, and then your dumbass goes and T-bows after he scores.
I do. I kneel after every score.
Hey, why'd Ryan the Great log off? I wonder.
Because Crowley T-bowed him after scoring on him. Boom.
Whatever.
That just happened. So not David Bass, while he was here, he talked a little bit about some of his patch ideas, and one of the patch ideas was to, during the Rat Gold Plague event, which we're going to talk about right now, have people just continuously blow up. So that was a great segue.
It seemed like a bad idea, so I don't really question why they decided.
No, that was a bad idea. That would have sucked, because let me tell you, blowing up anyway at the end of that thing is kind of,
yeah.
Especially in the middle of a boss. Or it's like, why did I forget to take the freaking antidote before? So the in-game event, the Rat Ghoul outbreak on Tatooine. Did you get to?
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, so you did some of the. What did you think of it?
Well, for the first half hour, I was like, why the hell am I feeling ill? Why am I nauseous and dizzy? And I didn't understand what was going on.
Right.
And then finally, and I was on Fleet, and somebody said, They called out the idiot that actually asked, but
you weren't that
half
idiot.
of the people that were on the Fleet at the time were glad the idiot asked it.
Or was it just you?
It was. I didn't. Oh, I don't know, but I didn't ask it obviously, but I'm glad somebody did, so I didn't turn into that guy. But I don't know. It was cool. Like that was going back to. I reference City Heroes a lot just because that was my first true MMO that I played for an extended period of time. And one of the coolest thing about City Heroes is they had live events like that all the time.
If you had a choice between a live event that actually coincided with, let's just say a holiday, or a random event, in-game event like this, which would you rather have?
I don't know why you can't have both.
Do you really want people to be reminded of the failed 1980s Star Wars Christmas special?
Why would that be one time when they would do that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Would you rather have an in-game event that coincides with Christmas and have it be Christmassy? Because, the Star Wars universe has Christmas. Or would you rather have random in-game events like this that coincide with the story?
Like around Halloween would be a good idea to do something crazy. May 4th would be a good time to do it. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, hey, that's clever. I didn't think of that.
You didn't know that?
No, that's pretty clever. May the 4th be with you. It's like you can't speak English correctly. It's retarded, is what I'm trying to say. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yet, every Star Wars fan knows that. Apparently not you.
Apparently this one didn't. Thank God.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo I get. Cinco not de Mayo is...
Dude, it's like Christmas Eve to Cinco de Mayo.
No, it's dumb.
It is.
It's dumb.
Oh my God, you're an idiot.
That's May the 4th be with you.
It's hilarious.
What downy motherfucker came up with that? Let me guess, it was Corky. May the 4th be with you! And someone's like, oh my God, he said 4th. May 4th be with you. That's great. It's a holiday.
Possibly, since you're friends with Corky, I don't know. Why don't you call him up and ask?
I'll ask him later. Maybe we'll have him on the show next week.
Maybe we should. He might actually already be scheduled.
He might. God, that's... Okay, anyway, what I'm saying is, would you rather have an Easter event or this event?
Both. Dude, it doesn't even have to be it just be something random. Like Revan finally teleports back and just starts killing everyone. So it's like one of those huge boss fights where you have to have like 800 people go kill him.
Why would 800 people be needed to kill Revan? Why? You almost killed him with 4. Why do you need another 796?
Almost kill him with 4.
You got him down to that much health. Tiny, tiny bit of health. Tiny bit.
Most bosses like him, you get him down to that, and then all of a sudden he's full health again because something happens.
Yeah, but it didn't. He just left like a pussy.
I'm done talking.
I knew that'd get you. So you want both events? Oh, come on. No. Ryan the Great is leaving. He is backing up from the microphone. I think he is done talking because I called Revan a pussy. Let me apologize for calling Revan a pussy. He is not a pussy, and may the 4th be with you. No? Nothing? Remember, all complaints, please send to Commander Batty at he'sadouchebag.com. I promise you that is a real email address to a real douchebag. Dude, seriously, come back to the show. Seriously, Ryan, no, don't go up the stairs. Come back, Ryan. Ryan. Yeah, Revan's a pussy. He got beat by 4 guys. I would personally, since I'm the only one on the show now, I have to say I have I statements, which we'll get to a little bit later, why I keep referencing all the I statements that I do. So I'm just saying, since I'm the only one on the show, I have to keep talking about things that I want to talk about in the first person. So I would rather them continue to do random events like this around the time of the holiday, not so much on the holiday, but around the time of the holiday, because I enjoy the story. I enjoy that backstory. Transporting Rakghouls from Terrace, crash lands on Tatooine, people start going nuts, turning into monsters. You've got to go there. If you're on the Empire side, you eliminate them. If you're on the Jedi side, I don't know, you probably spoon with them or something, because that's what those retards do over there. So that's what I would rather have. I would rather have that. Now, that being said, were the rewards worth it? I honestly think they were. The rewards that you got for finishing all of the dailies were, you got, oh, I think Ryan the Great's back. Ryan, are you back?
Maybe. To be decided.
To be decided. The rewards you got were, if you killed all 3 world bosses, because they had all the world boss, they added a new world boss, and all 3 of them on the planet were infected with the Rakghoul plague. If you killed all 3 of them, you got the title.
Wait, they were infected with an STD?
Yes.
Plastic Man?
Might have been. Yeah. You got the title Containment Officer.
Because that's a cool title.
That is a cool title.
No, it's not.
I have that on my character right now. That is a cool
the dumbest title ever.
How is the dumbest title?
Containment Officer?
Yeah, Containment Officer.
Containment Officer.
What would you rather have? Biohazard Officer?
Something biohazard might be cool.
Well, think of one. Come on. Yeah.
Biohazard Badass.
I don't think you're going to ever see.
And that is why SWTOR will eventually fail. Because you won't have a Biohazard Badass title.
I don't think that's... No, I disagree with every word that just came out of your mouth.
Crowley's awesome.
Except those. So you got the Containment Officer title. I think it's a great title. I'm rocking that right now on my main. Don't roll your eyes at me, sir.
Dude, I got attacked by containment officers every time I tried to leave or come onto the fleet. Those guys were pussies.
They were kind of pussies.
They're not... Revan is not a pussy.
No.
Those guys were pussies.
No, I take that back. By the way, I apologize for calling Revan a pussy.
By the way, I tweeted something.
Oh, God. You know, why do you have to tweet things out when we're in the middle of a show?
I don't know.
I don't know. You should probably take a picture of that board and tweet that out.
That should be definitely on the vidcast.
Yeah, it should. I'll put that on the vidcast. Anyway, so check this out. The other rewards that you got for finishing the dailies were you'd get some Rakghoul DNA. All right. But then you would also get the Containment Officer uniform. It was the hands. It was
the gloves?
The gloves. It was the gloves. It was the boots. It was the pants. It was the chest. It was the hat. And it was the belt.
Was it a social thing?
You had to be social.
Right.
And then you had to be, it's all light armor, but that was like the required minimum was light armor. So heavy armor could wear it, but I don't know why you'd want to. And it was all open mod slots. The belt was an open mod slot.
Which, would be cool.
That is cool because there's not very many of those in the game.
Rare to find one of those.
Yeah, exactly. So were the rewards worth it? Absolutely. I think they were because those were what you would get every day on top of the DNA samples. Now, you could take those DNA samples and you could take them to the vendor, to the special in-game event vendor, and you could get a special green and black lightsaber like you would get if you pre-ordered the Razor.
Which I thought was messed up that they did that.
Kind of, yes, but if they weren't going to give high levels who pre-ordered the Razor peripherals like I did, they weren't going to give us a high-level crystal like they did with the CE. When they still didn't give it to you, you still had to buy it. That's the best way to do it. So I wasn't too upset with that.
I would have been. And
I'm still not rocking it. I haven't put it in, so it's not bound to me. It's bound and equipped, so I might sell it later on when people are like, oh, I really wish I had a green and black crystal.
May the fourth be with you.
May the fourth be with you. So, yeah, maybe I'll try to sell it later. But that, or you could get 2 pets. One of the pets came with a daily, or you could buy one of the pets. And the one pet you could buy was pale. And the one that you got for completing one of the dailies was, or it's not really a daily, it was the beginning of all the quests. If you completed that one, you got a red little rat ghoul run around. Rackling. He runs around behind you. Short little legs. It's funny when you have him out and you're on a speeder.
Like a chocobo.
Chocobo?
Yeah.
One sounds more like Fozzie Bear.
I think that's what rat ghouls are.
Fozzie Bear? Muppets?
No.
Chocobos?
Yes. Only with...
How did Final Fantasy get in here?
Well, because of the noise you made.
Anyway, so I think they were worth it. The only thing I was disappointed was there weren't a pair of bracers with the set. Just everything but bracers.
Well, whatever.
It'd have been nice to have bracers.
Moddable bracers.
Moddable bracers. That would be nice. Exactly. So maybe that's why they didn't do it. But they did give us a belt, so why not give us the bracers too?
Right.
Anyway, I thought it was great. I thought the rewards were definitely worth it. I did them. You still got money for doing the dailies too. It was like 7,000 and some credits. So yeah, it was great. Speaking of dailies, we didn't mention this, and I want to real quick. The black hole dailies are new with 1.2 as well. Those are great, especially for fresh 50s to do. Really awesome, really good gear drops.
Really good, drops are good.
And then if you finish the weekly every week, which is just finishing, all of your dailies one day, you get 6 black hole commendations, which go to black hole gear, which is the campaign gear for PvE. It's like the top tier gear.
Cool name.
Yeah.
It's like Black Hole Troopers.
It is kind of like Black Hole Troopers. So lots of things going on. I want to talk real quick. I want to shift gears. We're on TGN now, which is a YouTube channel.
Yep.
TGN SWTOR Division. I want to thank Blockade Runner for inviting us in.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Blockade. It's great to be on. It's a little more time.
You better be getting a warm fuzzy right now.
You better. And a hard on. It's a little... Yeah,
is it okay if I'm getting a hard on?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
It's a little different. It's a little harder for me to get things together. A little more time out of the game. But it's...
The creative juices have to be flowing for you.
Juices in general usually have to be flowing for me. But yeah, it's different, but I like it. I enjoy doing it. You're trying to figure out what I meant by that, aren't you? Yeah. I probably wouldn't want to do that if I were you. So...
I was actually trying to figure out what image would be put up.
I don't, you know what, maybe...
Juicy Juice is what I was thinking.
Oh, there you go. Probably not, because I think that's copyrighted.
Okay. I'm just saying that's what I was thinking.
Maybe V8, but I have the V8.
And V8's not copyrighted?
Well,
but Juicy Juice is?
Your Juicy Juice is freaking copyrighted. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Nobody knows what that means.
Nobody knows. You're right. But a little more time for me to do it, out of game to do this stuff, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. What I also enjoy are all the comments that people get to leave now. It's kind of like iTunes all over again, which you can follow us on iTunes, and I wish you would subscribe to us, like us, leave comments. But it's worse than iTunes because people don't just troll iTunes, listen to a whole podcast just to troll you.
People do that on YouTube, though.
People do that on YouTube. So let me just point a couple out real quick that I would like to just say hello to, give a little shout out to. Dave Walden, you son of a bitch. If you don't like the fact that I call this podcast and call SWTOR like I see it, don't fucking listen. You can figure out in the first 10 minutes of the show what I do.
10 minute.
10 seconds? What are you trying to say?
I was going to say 10 seconds, but I was like, probably a minute.
Maybe a minute. First minute. Don't listen to the show.
And that might have actually been what he did. He only listened for a minute, and then he...
And we try to be funny. We try. We don't always succeed.
I don't try to be funny. I think people that are funny are weak.
What?
Yes.
That makes... I don't know.
If you're funny, fuck you.
No, that makes no sense. I don't know what that means. Anyway, look, if you want to leave a comment, great. I look forward to all your comments. If you want to dislike us and give us the thumbs down, it's great. Give us a thumbs down. It's like 50-50. Right now, I think we're 19 likes, 15 dislikes.
Oh, for last week's vidcast?
For last week's vidcast, which is great because I want to be polarizing. I don't expect everyone to like us. I don't. In fact, I don't want everyone to like us. We're not keyboard heroes. We're not the happy-go-lucky Canadians. We're not Canada's premier podcast for a reason. I call it like I see it. We have things
but
like...
if Terrence and Phillip had a podcast...
This would be it. Maybe. No, they'd fart more.
We would have to fart more.
They'd fart more.
Right. I'm just... If Terrence and Phillips had a podcast, they would be the premier podcast.
Yes. I would agree with that statement. Yeah. So then, are you asking Terrence and Phillips to have a podcast and not...
No, but maybe they should be on the show at some point.
Giving you cancer. Head cancer. Yeah, so... A boot. You're making me lose my train of thought. If you want to leave a comment that criticizes us, that's fine. But make it constructive. Don't just say that I use a lot of I statements. If you haven't figured it out, jackass, this is an opinion-based show with my opinions, Ryan the Great's opinions, and sometimes our Australian correspondent's opinions.
And Revan is absolutely not a pussy.
About the game. About the Star Wars universe. That's what this podcast is about. I have to say statements like, I'm just saying, and I think of this, and I think that. Well, just kind of like, I think you're a douchebag for leaving that comment.
To be fair, if you go back, we said just saying, not I'm just saying today.
We did say that today. Actually, you did.
Just for him.
You did. Yes, we did. So there were several references. Dave Walden actually left one saying that this was a wine cast. This was a...
Again, if we were drinking wine, that'd be fine.
Right. This was a piss and moan cast. Well, I thought his comment was a piss and moan comment. And I will not read any more comments from Dave Walden. At all. So, Dave Walden, if you're listening, which you said you wouldn't, haha, gotcha. You're listening. Now go fuck yourself. Are we done with that?
Yes.
I think we're done with that.
Sure.
Let's talk about guild drama real quick.
Okay.
There are 3 ways. There are 3, and count them, uno, dos, tres. I think, is that right?
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay.
C.
Hold on. There are 3 ways to handle guild drama.
Trace.
Yes, 3. Yeah. Ignore it. Hope it goes away.
I would say that what you're about to say can be applied to all drama in general.
I'm thinking.
Not just guild drama.
Okay, yeah, all right. You can ignore it and hope it goes away. Mm-hmm. Which it usually doesn't, it just gets bigger. Especially when you're the one watching the guild drama unfold between, I don't know, let's say, one guild member and everyone else in the guild.
Right.
Just as an example off the top of my head.
Because if it's a perceived situation, it's probably true. Because perception is reality.
Perception is reality. You learn that.
The one and only thing you've ever taught me.
I only taught you one thing, and that was it.
You taught me a lot of things, but that's a good one.
That is a good one. But I was going to say, if I only taught you one thing, God, I suck.
Yeah.
Most
people haven't taught me shit.
I usually don't pay attention to
You're like exponentially better than most people.
There you go. Second way to handle it is with kid gloves. Try to get everybody get along, unicorns, rainbows.
Teletubbies.
I was going to say lollipops, but Teletubbies are way better.
Teletubbies with lollipops. On rainbows.
Will you please stop
dancing with Care Bears?
You're trying to make this hard for me to find pictures.
I hope to God you're not getting hard with me saying that shit.
It's not what I meant. You didn't listen.
What you said.
You're making it hard for me to find pictures for the video. Anyway.
Dude, how hard would it be to find a picture of a rainbow, a Teletubby, a lollipop, and a Care Bear?
All together?
Dude, freaking Photoshop.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
The third way to handle it is Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is one of the worst heroes ever. You know that green dude with the yellow, and
he's awful.
What the hell were they thinking when they?
Yeah,
and he's still around.
Yeah, but you can bring him in to handle guild drama.
Yes, and he would be like the heart, like the in your face.
Yeah. So there's 3 ways to handle it. So my question to you out there that listen to it, how would you handle guild drama if you had one member of the guild that everyone hated? I mean, hated because he probably did some things he probably shouldn't have done or said. What?
You have to preface this a little bit more. Because if it's just some random member of the guild, you kick his ass out. You don't even deal with it. But you're talking about a senior member of the guild. You're talking about someone you may or may not be friends with.
Yeah.
Someone who's been with us through multiple games.
Yes.
So if you take someone who's been... But you got to keep in mind, more than likely, he brought this upon himself.
How do you handle it?
That's the question we're asking.
Asking the listeners. How would you handle it?
How would I handle it?
Kid gloves, Iron Fist, or ignore it?
Well, as you know, and how any of our listeners that have been with us over the years knows, I'm not exactly a overly confrontational guy.
No, you're not.
I can usually,
unless I call Revan a pussy.
Well, there's certain things that can be said that'll set me off.
That's one of them.
Especially if they deal with Revan or Batman.
Yeah,
I will fuck your shit up if you start talking shit about Any of my people.
Right.
Any of my guys that I like. Anyway, whatever. Hawkeyes, Raiders, whatever. Anyway, so that being said, I also have this unique ability to talk my way out of
confrontation
or into, matters that maybe I don't have anything to. That being said, I think I could probably resolve the situation by talking it out with people. Now, that is definitely the long way to do things.
That's the kid glove way to do things.
That would definitely be the kid glove way to do things. Now, if I got a temper, but it's hard to set me off. But I have certain things. Now, you know what? If the kid gloves thing didn't work, it'd just be one of those things where we're just gonna have to let you go.
Is that what you do at work? We're just gonna have to let you go.
No, because I have to get region president approval to do that.
God.
What?
Did it get harder after I left?
It's difficult.
Good God. They just cut your penis off.
Well, I didn't say basically, but I almost did.
Yeah.
Unless you do something retarded, like some of my friends have done.
I'm not going to go into that. Let's talk about the Dork Side. Dork Side update. Couple of battles going on right now. And
before we get into that, I got an email.
Oh, God.
From GoDaddy and Google talking about how much money we could be making on tournamentofswat.com based on our traffic.
Right.
We have been at, okay, so tournamentofswat.com, the origin of all this crap.
Origin of this podcast, the origin of dorkside.forumwise.com, the origin of everything, the epitome of everything we have ever done together, you and I.
2007, this website
yes.
was launched. I remember calling you, dude, I just registered a domain.
I know, I remember that.
tournamentofswat.com, and you just started laughing. Anyway, if you don't know what it is, go there, read the how this shit happened part of it,
yes.
At least. Okay, anyway. We've been averaging over 1,400 hits on that website. Per month.
Jeez.
And it spiked in October of last year. We had 6,000 hits. So they were telling me how much money we could be making. But I'm like, as soon as I do this, I guarantee Disney and Marvel is going to cease and desist. I don't want that. I don't want to make money off this. I just want it to be there. I have fun with it.
Right.
It's fun.
We don't take money here at the podcast. We don't take money at Tournament of SWAT. We don't take money at Dorkside.
Right.
We don't take donations. We don't need donations.
But if you want to donate on the forums and make it ad-free, there's a link to do that. Just saying.
There is a link, but we don't do it for this podcast. We don't do it for the SWTOR part. We don't do it. Hell, have you ever had a donation on there?
No.
Yeah. I've been on the forums how long? And I don't donate.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dorkside.
Yeah, Matt and I did one time.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He donated and we were ad-free for like 6 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
So on the Dorkside forums right now, there's a couple battles. And there was a specific battle that happened last week.
So for those of you who don't know, the main thing the SWAT does or has done in the past is we randomly seed people from different universes, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, for example, video games, and they fight in a tournament, like March Madness kind of. There's venues, we argue it, it's great, it's fun. The live ones we do, 6-7 hours of drunken madness that makes magic parties look like magic parties.
That's right.
We have fun. Check it out. Look at it for yourself. Don't be like, what the hell are they talking about? Just fucking do it. So anyway, we're doing this tournament right now. We're in like the third round. Tournament 8, even though we've already done 9. 8's on the forums. Takes a little bit longer. But there's a battle that just happened that just got over that I think you want to talk about.
Tuvok versus
Dr. Doom.
Dr.
Tuvok from Star Trek.
Doom.
Commander Tuvok. Dr. Doom from Marvel.
There's no way on God's green earth that Tuvok would beat Dr. Doom.
Yeah, he did by 1 vote.
There used to be someone on this show by the name of Commander Batty. You can email him at commanderbatty@he'sadouchebag.com, and you can let him know how big of a douchebag he is for backing Tuvok over Dr. Doom.
He not only backed it, he put all of his energy into him winning. And he did have some good points. It's just nobody...
Has he been on the forums since then?
Yeah.
Has he responded to any of my posts?
No, because it was... No, he hasn't. If anything on there doesn't pertain to him, I don't think he goes into it.
What a douche.
So if he looks at it and it doesn't say like something about something that he likes, then he doesn't
When is the next live tournament going to be?
Well, I posted on there that I wanted to do it before the wedding and get married in 55 days.
Okay, so sometime in the next 55 days.
Yeah, I've had a few people ask me when we wanted to do it. I'm thinking of Sunday maybe at some point. The idea we wanted to actually seed it like March Madness.
Yes, that would be great. That would be awesome.
I'd love to do another one before the top 25. We haven't updated top 25 since September, so.
No, we haven't, have we?
So, yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. So, folks, that's the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Ryan, great to have you back. Missed you last week, buddy.
Yeah, hey, and I left for a while today.
You did leave for a while today. Yeah.
I did enjoy our guest host, though.
I did, too.
Not really guest host, our interview that we did.
Yeah, our special guest.
He was waiting patiently in here.
He was. And he had to catch a flight back to not Austin, Texas.
So it was like he was a guest host.
Right. So we want to thank not David Bass for being here.
Mm-hmm. At Dr. Dyke.
At Dr. Dyke. Follow him. They can follow you, kind sir, at... why don't you give everybody your Twitter
at
name?
RTGR8. RTGR8. That's Ryan the Great.
There you go.
Abbreviated.
There you go. You can follow me at SWATH Radio. That's at SWATH Radio.
A little easier.
It's a little easier. Yeah. If you can't.
Mine's only 5 characters.
I know, but it's not. It's like initials. Mine's actually spelled out. You can email me, Crowley76 at SWATHradio.com. That's Crowley76 at SWATHradio.com. Remember, all complaints, concerns, questions, comments about the show, send them to Commander Batty at he'sadouchebag.com.
Fuck you, Crowley may or may not be trending on Twitter right now.
For Ryan the Great. For our special guest, not David Bass. And for our Australian correspondent, Vez, who couldn't be here tonight, I am Crowley. Thank you for listening. This has been SWATH Radio.
This video is part of the Way movement, a career path for YouTubers. To learn more, visit tgn.tv.